Just a moment, John is going to be cooking, but first we need to talk Strictly.
Oh, no, don't. I'm missing it.
Oh, are you?
Life's just not the same anymore. Like, where are the sequins? Where's the glitter? Where's the spray tan? Where's Johannes? I don't know where he's gone.
But you're going on tour soon, though, aren't you?
Yeah, we start the tour. We start training for the tour next Monday.
Yeah.
And then we open it the week after in Birmingham. And then we're up and down the country on a grubby tour bus, I think. So
And you are so looking forward to it, aren't you?
I cannot wait.
You can't wait to get back into the glitter bubble.
Dance in front of 10,000 people every night is going to be incredible.
I'm going to go with a big banner that just says, "Go on, John!" like that. I'm going to be like, groupie #1 fan. Amazing.
Well, I'll gladly see you. You're going to come as well, aren't you?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So it'll be great fun. It'll be good fun. But no, I am missing Strictly. I mean, it was the hardest thing I've ever done. I'm going to make some chocolate pastry, but I'll talk through it in a minute. I've got stories to tell. It was the hardest thing I've ever done. Flour and salt. Mentally.
Whatever.
But, mentally, it was more demanding than physically. Did you find that, Ed, when you did it? It was mentally demanding, Strictly?
Well, it's so much bigger than you think it's going to be.
Yeah.
And so consuming. And the hours of training and also that stress of just before you go out, because you don't want to let people down.
Yeah.
And you don't, and especially for you, your partner, you want to make sure that you deliver for your partner. I've got to tell you, the tour is so much fun. Because the great thing about the tour is it doesn't actually matter if you win or lose, because you're not going to go out, and you actually see all the people in the arena. When we did it here in Leeds Arena, kind of 8,000 people, the buzz you get back, it's so great.
Oh, but if I'm finding this a come down, I'm going to find that a come down when that finishes as well.
The tour was fab.
But I'll be.
I don't feel sorry for you. Where's the horse? He's having the time of his life.
Right, you go and do it, McGovern, and then.
I'm sorry, I forgot to start with this.
Okay. I'm ready.
Hey!
Now it's more like Strictly. So anyway, shall I crack on with the cooking?
Yeah, but tell me, I just want to know what was the highlight of it all.
The highlight, I think, was.
Don't say meeting Johannes, because everyone always says meeting the dance.
Oh no, that was nice, but it wasn't the highlight. I think the highlight for me was. Oh no, Johannes is amazing. Don't get me wrong. But I think the highlight was. The Argentine tango for me. Like that was and you were there watching that live
that was amazing. I was like full on crying, and I'm not emotional.
I know your ducks were working that night.
Yeah.
So it was incredible doing that dance. So anyway, I'm going to make some chocolate pastry. So in my processor here, I've got some flour, cocoa powder, a bit of sugar, a bit of salt, and then the butter, obviously, as well. And the wet ingredients, which are milk and some vinegar. The vinegar just helps to cut through the gluten and make a nice short
And you're
pastry.
using dark chocolate in all of this because that's scientifically good for you, but in
moderation. Yeah. I've got a bit of milk chocolate in there as well. But that's milk chocolate and dark chocolate and a lot of butter as well. So it's not,
It's not healthy.
It's not healthy. There's so much emphasis at this time of year on the new year, new you. And I'm just like, no, new year, same old me. In my sequined outfit. But I've just realised, because on the tour we're doing the show dance, that final dance.
Oh, brilliant.
Which means I'm going to have to return the outfit, because after the show finished on the Saturday of the final, I stuffed that outfit in my bag and sent it home with
I still got Gangnam Style.
Have
you?
In a bag.
You need to
just in
dust
case.
it off.
Just in case what?
Just in case I ever need to use it. The thing I think was really special about what you did, John, is when I was on it, the idea of two men being partners, single-sex couple, was like beyond the pale. And then you took it from being something kind of new and different to becoming something which everybody just thought was completely right and appropriate. And the change that you pulled off in those weeks is absolutely massive.
Well, the amount of people who've come up to me, and in the pub since they, I wasn't a fan of two men dancing together, and I'm about to, kind of walk off, and then they say, but it changed my mind.
Exactly.
And that's it. Sometimes you change the world by going on marches with placards, and sometimes you do it by dancing on a Saturday night under a glitter ball. It's nudging things on that little, even just a little bit is so massive. We're so proud of you.
Well, it was an honour to do it, because whenever people say, oh, you were amazing to do it, don't forget, I had a great time. I got paid to do it. I was having fun. So when people say, oh, you're a hero, I'm not. It was just a good gig, and I'm honoured to represent my community. But I don't like the whole idea of me being a hero.
You also looked great, darling.
Well,
you looked amazing. I mean,
And what was it like watching Rose dance? That moment when the music went off in her special routine.
It was just chills. The whole room. I mean, I like Steph. I cry quite a lot at things, but it takes a lot for me to cry. But when I watched that, we were all in tears watching that, because it was just so It was what an honour to be on that season of Strictly Come Dancing, you know, breaking barriers down in so many different ways. You know, the final was a girl from a deaf community, a proud black woman, a proud gay couple as well. Like, it was such a diverse final, and that gives me hope as to how far we've come as a society.
Definitely.
It really does.
Yeah.
Just quickly, back to the
Yeah,
tart.
I was going to say, because none of us know the mix.
The rest of it on Instagram.
But we will put the details on our social medias.
Well, basically, what I've done is I've made a chocolate pastry, and the details are on Instagram, and I've blind baked that, which means you roll it out, line a tart shell with it, fill it with baking paper and dry rice.
Why is it blind? Why is it called blind?
Just because it's empty,
Right.
apart from the rice. But you bake that for 20 minutes with the rice, then you take the baking paper and rice out and pop it back in for another 20 minutes. And that way you've got a fully baked tart shell, which if you were boring, you could just fill with whipped cream and serve it. Or you could do what I'm doing, which is making a chocolate extravaganza of joy.
How tricky is it to know, because it's a chocolate pastry, obviously you can't tell the colour when it's golden brown, so how tricky is it to know when
I just give it a little scratch with a finger, and if it sounds a bit dry like that, you know, make sure you clean your hand, but, you know, it's good to go. And then here I've got some dulce de leche, which is that caramel from a tin. You know, when they make condensed milk into caramel, dulce de leche, but I think they've stopped putting that on the label now, they just call it caramel. And what I do is I just spread that on like that.
Is this consistent with my January no-carb diet?
This will completely obliterate your diet, Ed, but life is too short, I think. Unless you're doing it for health reasons, which obviously, you know, a lot of us do.
But I don't think we should go to extremes in January. You should just everything in moderation.
January's hard enough, isn't it, man? I mean, I wake up on a January morning, I'm like, can I function today? And if I'm not eating carbs, it's like, no, I can't function. So here's the healthier of the ingredients, the chocolate, dark chocolate, milk chocolate, and a bit of butter.
Smells gorgeous.
And then in here, I've got my eggs, which I've whipped with some dark sugar over a pan of barely simmering water. And that's just to slightly cook the eggs. You don't want to scramble them or actually coagulate the protein. You just want to make sure that the eggs are safe to eat. So they should just feel as hot as a bath that's a bit too hot to get into. You know, when you stick your finger in a bath or your ankle and go, oh, I can't quite get into that yet. That's how hot the eggs should be. And then you whip that with your...
You're not suggesting you put your ankle in there, no?
Oh, no. I mean, unless you've really cleaned it, you know. Depends what you're into. However you brighten up your January nights is up to you.
If you weren't having a dry January, would this be the point to throw a little something to zhuzh it up?
Oh, well, you could put a bit of brandy or a bit of rum in here. Just no more than a tablespoon, because alcohol can stop ganache setting. And that's what this is, essentially. It's a very rich ganache. So instead of the cream, you're using eggs. And just make sure the eggs are cooked. Or you could also get those eggs in a little carton that are already pasteurised and use that. Once it comes together, it makes the silkiest chocolate filling. And that's why it's called a chocolate silk pie or a silky tart, which is actually what they used to call me after a spray tan on screen. And I was mincing through Elstree in just my thong.
Are there any pictures of that anywhere?
Oh, there's all over Steph's Instagram. I miss those days. I really do.
You know the story of Jeremy Vine?
I know this story.
Jeremy Vine arrived for his spray tan and he was told by, I think it was Gorka, that you had to strip completely naked. Everything. So he stands in the tent and the poor spray gun woman comes in, opens the tent, and there's Jeremy Vine, absolutely nude. What programme did you think he was going on?
Yeah. And
the spray tan girls did corroborate that story.
Did they?
Yep.
God, he must have been embarrassed after that, though.
That was quite the lucky guy. That's all I'll say. There you go, Steph.
Too much information.
I'm going to let you have a nibble of that. And while
quite itchy, though, isn't it? The spray tan makes you go woo.
Well, it makes the bed sheets soiled, that's for sure. Anyway, you have a nibble on that.
Oh.
Thank you.
And while these guys eat these, if you want to make this recipe, all the ingredients for the dark chocolate silky tart are on our Instagram page. Just search @PackLunchC4. Kate, yours is coming. Steph, how's yours, love?
Absolutely gorgeous.
Nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
There you go, Steph.
I said I was only going to have one bite because of all the January-ness, and I might stuff that.
Get it down. Get it down.
Anyway, so we've been collecting people's stories.